Are you over 50 and thinking about starting a YouTube channel, but you have no idea what it should be about? Maybe you've said to yourself, I'm not tech savvy, or who would want to even watch me? Or maybe you just have a dozen interests and just don't know where to begin. Here's the truth. YouTube isn't just for 20-somethings anymore. Some of the most inspiring, most relatable, and most trusted creators today are over 50. And they're showing up with real-life experience, insight, and stories that matter. And you can be one of them. In this video, I'm going to share 11 YouTube channel ideas that are perfect for people over 50. These aren't generic ideas. They're practical, specific, and based on what real audiences are watching and what you already know how to do. If you've ever thought about starting a channel but didn't know where to start, this video will help you get clear, get inspired, and maybe even hit record. Let's jump in. Life lessons and personal growth. Let's start with one of the most meaningful YouTube channels for people over 50. Life lessons and personal growth. You don't need to be a life coach or an expert. If you've lived through challenges, many mistakes, learned lessons, and grown as a person, and you've got something valuable to share. There are people searching YouTube right now for answers you already have. Answers that come from real life experience, not just theory. They're not looking for perfect advice. They're looking for someone who's lived it. Your channel could cover topics like how to bounce back from failure, letting go of perfectionism, finding clarity after 50, rebuilding confidence after change, making peace with your past. You can deliver your message in a casual talk to the camera style, keep it honest and personal, like you're talking to a friend over coffee. People connect with authenticity, especially on YouTube. Here are a few video title ideas to help you get started. What I wish I knew at 50. The hardest lesson I had to learn in my 40s. How I stopped chasing the wrong goals. This type of content helps people feel seen, heard, and supported. And it builds community. Viewers will show up for the message, but they'll stay for you. And if you're over 50 and wondering what kind of content you can create, start here. Your wisdom matters, and someone out there needs to hear it. Some of the most powerful presentations and powerful videos that I've ever had is when I took the time to share my life lessons. Idea number 2, retirement reinvention. Let's talk about one of the biggest life shifts we face after 50, retirement. But here's the twist. This isn't about slowing down, it's about reinvention. Whether you've already retired or you're just starting to think about it and what comes next, your experience can help others navigate this huge transition. A YouTube channel focused on retirement reinvention could explore how to rediscover purpose after leaving a long-time career, how to find new routines, explore new passions, or even how to turn a hobby into an income. Think about the common questions people ask after leaving the workforce. What should I do with my time? How do I find a purpose again? Can I start something new at this age? The answer is yes. And your story can show them how. You could share content around starting a second act in your 50s or 60s. This is a big one, downsizing or relocating after retirement. Learning new skills or turning hobbies into businesses. Volunteering, travel, or faith-based service. Here are a few video titles that would do really well. Why retirement was just the beginning for me. From career to calling, reinventing myself after 60. How I turned my hobby into a purpose after retirement. Viewers are craving examples of what life can look like when the 9-to-5 ends, but life doesn't. This kind of channel can give them hope, direction, and inspiration. If you've reinvented yourself or you're in the process of doing it, document that journey. You might be one story away from helping someone else find their second act too. Idea number 3, health and wellness over 50. Let's be honest, our bodies change after 50. And what worked in the 30s and 40s doesn't always hold up in the same way now. That's why a YouTube channel focused on health and wellness over 50 can be incredibly valuable. People are looking for advice they can trust, and they want to hear it from someone who gets it. You don't need to be a certified trainer or nutritionist. If you figured out how to take care of yourself physically, mentally, emotionally, you've already got insight that people want. This type of channel could cover simple fitness routines you actually enjoy, mobility, strength, or walking workouts, daily habits for better sleep, energy, and focus, managing stress or mental health after 50, easy, healthy meals that don't taste like cardboard. You can bring people into your world, show what works for you. That's the kind of honest content that creates. Here are some great video title ideas to get you started. My morning routine to stay active at 56. 5 healthy habits that change my life after 50. Simple exercises for strength and energy with no gym required. You don't need to be perfect. You just need to be consistent and honest. Document your own wellness journey. Talk about what's helped you and what hasn't. Share what you've learned. That kind of vulnerability builds community and trust. Remember, people aren't just looking for information. They're looking for someone who understands. And if you're on this journey yourself, you're already qualified to lead the way. Idea number 4, real estate and financial wisdom over 50. If you spent your life managing a budget, investing in real estate, or just making smart money decisions, you've got a highly valuable channel idea right in front of you. People over 50 are thinking about retirement, downsizing, right-sizing, income strategies, and protecting what they've worked so hard to build. And they're looking for answers on YouTube. You don't need to be a financial advisor. If you've bought and sold property, managed debt, created a retirement plan, or figured out how to stretch a dollar, you've got insight that people need right now. You could build a channel that covers home buying or selling tips for people in midlife, how to downsize without losing your mind, saving and investing in your 50s and 60s, budgeting and managing fixed income, turning a side hustle or hobby into real income. Here's a few strong video title ideas. Should you sell the family home after 55? What downsizing really looks like, my honest experience. How I built financial freedom without being a financial expert. If you've worked in real estate, you can share behind the scenes tips. If you've created a strong personal financial strategy, you can teach others what worked for you. This kind of channel is practical and in demand. And because it's grounded in your experience, it's trustworthy. Remember, people are searching for real life, real talk advice. And if you're over 50, you've got decades of financial wins, missteps, and wisdom to pull from. Why not share it? Idea number 5, tech made simple for over 50. The next one is about making technology less overwhelming and more useful for everyday life. And if you're over 50, you know sometimes a step-by-step explanation is all you need. A YouTube channel focused on tech made simple can be a game changer for people who want to use today's tools but without the frustration. You don't have to teach how to build a website or edit a YouTube video. You could help someone figure out how to set up Netflix on their smart TV, connect their phone or tablet to Wi-Fi, get their Alexa or Ring doorbell working again, program the remote for their cable or streaming box, sync their phone with their car's Bluetooth. You could even focus on online safety, which is huge right now. How to spot a scam email or text, what not to click on, and how to create strong passwords, including setting up two-factor authentication. Here are some title ideas for this type of channel. How to set up Netflix on any TV, step by step for beginners. Is this a scam or not? How to spot online red flags. Setting up your Ring doorbell, no tech skills needed. How to use Alexa without getting frustrated. There are so many people who want to keep up, but they don't know who to ask. You could be their go-to guide. If you enjoy explaining things clearly and patiently, this channel idea has real impact, and it fills a gap that's only getting bigger. Idea number 6, hobby to channel. Now let's talk about something that might feel small, but actually has a huge impact. Sharing your hobby. Whether it's gardening, woodworking, painting, sewing, RV travel, restoring furniture, fishing, photography, and yes, even making wreaths. You've got something worth sharing. Let me tell you a quick story. My mother, who lives on the West Coast, spent years watching a YouTuber based right here in the Villages, Florida. This woman made wreaths, simple, seasonal, festive wreaths for every holiday. My mother never made a wreath, not once, but she watched every video. Why? Because it brought her joy. It was peaceful, creative, personal. It felt like company in the room. That's the magic of hobby-based YouTube channels. People don't always watch to do. Sometimes they watch to feel something, calm, inspired, connected. You don't have to be an expert. You don't have to make it a business. You just have to enjoy what you're doing. And if you hit record, someone else will enjoy it too. Here are some ideas that may spark some inspiration. Making a fall wreath for my front door, step by step. Woodworking for relaxation. My first project after 60. Planting my spring garden in Florida. Come with me. Hobbies make for great channels because they're personal, visual, and easy to build into a routine. And the best part? Even if no one follows along to copy you, they still follow along to enjoy the journey. Idea number 7, nostalgia and throwback content. Let's shift gears a little bit and talk about something that brings people together across generations, nostalgia. If you're over 50, you've lived through some incredible decades, and believe it or not, there's a huge audience that loves reliving those memories with someone who actually lived them. This could be a YouTube channel where you look back at the 60s, 70s, 80s, and 90s. You could talk about music, fashion, old commercials, vintage cars, what school was like, or even things we just don't see anymore, like rotary phones or drive-in theaters. People love content that makes them say, "Oh wow, I remember that." And younger viewers love learning about what life was really like before smartphones and streaming. You could even do fun comparison videos. Then and now, shopping in the 70s versus today. Favorite childhood snacks that don't even exist anymore. What vacations looked like in the 80s. Here are some video title ideas to get your mind turning. You know you're over 50 if you remember these. What road trips were really like in the 70s. My favorite TV shows growing up. These videos don't require fancy gear or editing. Just tell stories, share memories, maybe even show old photos or vintage items you've kept. This kind of content sparks emotion, creates connection, and encourages people to share their own memories in the comments. That's how a community starts, and you'll be surprised at just how many people show up for a good walk down memory lane. Idea number 8, how-to and DIY knowledge. If you spent decades figuring out on your own, whether it's fixing stuff, organizing a home, troubleshooting appliances, or just knowing how to get things done, you're sitting on a gold mine of content. A how-to or DIY channel is all about teaching the everyday skills people often Google or look to YouTube for and don't find it explained in simple, clear language. And let's face it, when you're over 50, you've solved enough problems to be a resource for someone else. This kind of channel could include basic home repairs, setting up tools or equipment, installing a new faucet, fixing a toilet, patching drywall, seasonal talks like winterizing your RV or prepping a garden, organizing a garage or setting up a workspace. You don't need perfect lighting or studio level video. Just record what you're doing and explain it like you would to a neighbor. And you don't need to be a licensed contractor. Your experience is the value. You've already made the mistakes, figured out the shortcuts, and know what exactly works. A few great video title examples could be how I fixed my running toilet in under 10 minutes, installing a light fixture without hiring an electrician, my step-by-step guide to organizing the garage after 50. These videos are helpful, evergreen, and often show up in search results for years. Plus, they help people save money and time, two things that we all value. So if you're handy, practical, or just good at figuring things out, this is your lane. Start recording your next project and let the teaching begin. Idea 9, cooking and kitchen wisdom. If you spent any time in the kitchen over the past few decades, feeding a family, cooking for the holidays, or just perfecting a few favorite dishes, you've got something worth sharing. A YouTube channel focused on cooking and kitchen wisdom doesn't have to be fancy. You don't need chef's credentials. What you do need is the heart behind it and a few recipes that people can count on. There are thousands of people looking for meal ideas that are affordable, nostalgic, or just plain comforting. Especially viewers over 50 who are cooking for two, watching their health, or trying to keep things simple without sacrificing flavor. You could create videos around classic family recipes or Sunday dinners, meals for two after the kids are gone, one-pan dinners, slow cooker favorites, healthy swaps for aging bodies, cooking routines you've used for years. And here's the best part. Even if your viewers never make the dish, they often watch for the relaxation and the familiarity it brings. Just like how people watch baking shows or old school cooking segments. It's about the experience. Here's a few title ideas to get your wheels spinning. 3 meals I've been cooking for 30 years that are still a hit. Easy comfort foods for cold nights, no fuss recipes. How I plan our week of dinners without stress. Whether you're using handwritten recipes passed down through generations or just winging it in the kitchen, your style and personality are what makes the video special. You bring the flavor, YouTube will bring the audience. Idea number 10, storytelling and reflection. This next idea is one of my personal favorites, storytelling and reflection. Because after 50, we've lived through a lot. And sometimes the most powerful thing you can do on YouTube isn't teach a skill or explain a process. It's to simply tell the truth about something you've experienced. Storytelling builds connection like nothing else. Whether it's a story about a hard lesson, a funny moment, a quiet realization, or a turning point that changed everything, people will lean in because it's real. You don't need to be a great writer or a polished speaker. You just need to share from the heart. Talk about what's happened, what it taught you, and what someone else might take away from it. A few examples of powerful storytelling topics. A time you failed and what it taught you. A difficult decision and how you made it. A moment that shifted your perspective. What aging has helped you understand. A person who impacted your life deeply. You could even start a series, Lessons from My Life, or Moments That Made Me. Keep it short, honest, and focused on the message. Here are some possible video titles. The Day I Realized I Was Living on Autopilot. What My Biggest Mistakes Taught Me About Grace. A 3-minute conversation that changed everything. These stories don't need to go viral. They need to land with that one person at the right time. That's how connection is built. That's how a community grows. If you're willing to share your truth, your audiences will find you and they'll keep coming back. Idea number 11, motivational and faith-based messaging. Let's finish this list with something powerful. Motivational and faith-based messages. After 50, we've seen enough life to know that people aren't just looking for how-to advice. A lot of them are looking for hope, encouragement, and perspective. And if that's something you naturally offer, YouTube might be the perfect platform for you to share it. This kind of channel can be a space where people come to feel grounded, inspired, or just reminded that they're not alone in what they're doing and what they're going through. You could create short weekly messages, daily devotionals, simple reflections on scripture, or mindful shifts that have helped you in hard times. And again, you don't have to be a preacher or a licensed counselor. You just have to speak honestly about what helped you and offer encouragement from the heart. Here are a few possible video themes. Starting over after a loss or failure. Learning to trust again after disappointment. Why faith deepens with age. How to find peace in the middle of chaos. Encouragement for someone who feels stuck. A few great title ideas might be a word of encouragement for anyone starting over at 55. What I would hold on to when life feels uncertain. My go-to Bible verse when I'm feeling lost. If you feel called to encourage, inspire, or uplift others, lean into it. You never know who's watching at 2 a.m. or 3 a.m., needing exactly the words you have to give. And when your words come from experience and faith, they carry weight. You're not too late. You're right on time. If you're over 50 and wondering whether it's too late to start a YouTube channel, let me say this clearly. You're not too late. You're right on time. The world doesn't need another perfect influencer. It needs real people, people with wisdom, people with life experience, people who have something honest to say. YouTube isn't just for the next generation. It's for every generation. And especially now, people are craving connection, perspective, and authenticity. And that's what you have. So whether you've got a skill to teach, a story to share, a message to spread, or a hobby that brings you joy, there's space for you here on YouTube. You don't need to know everything. You don't need all the right equipment and gear. You just need to start with one video, one message, one person in mind. And trust me, when someone leaves a comment that says, I really needed this today, you'll understand why it was worth it. So let this be your sign. You're ready. You've got something to offer, and it's time to share it. If this video encouraged you or helped you see the possibility, do me a favor, hit subscribe, drop a comment, and let me know that you're thinking about creating. This channel is here to support you every step of the way because I believe your voice matters and I'm here to help you use it. YouTube after 50? It's not just possible. It might just be the best thing you've done yet.